Do you personally dislike homosexuals?
Of course, they are disgusting.
Two men seen here with their lawyer were jailed for 15 years for taking part in what's known in the country as a crime against the order of nature, the legal term in Zambia for gay sex.
1 year before lawmakers voted to increase the punishment for homosexuality from life in prison to death. Under Western pressure, Uganda in 2014 overturned the Anti-Homosexuality Act, but gay sex remains illegal.
Under the proposed legislation, those convicted of homosexual acts in the East African country could face life imprisonment. The law would also make it a crime not to report gay people. Uganda's economy is largely financed by donor aid. Canada and Norway have also threatened to cut ties with Uganda over the proposed law on homosexuality. About 95% of Ugandans are in support of the tough legislation.
Homosexuality is not good in Uganda here because for us, we follow God's orders, whereby God told us to produce and increase his people in the world. So if we do homosexuality, we can't increase more people, we can't create people.
For us as Africans, we don't believe in homosexuality, and I think as an African, he should take his stand and take what the people in Africa stand for, which is non-homosexuality.
A month ago, President Museveni refused to approve the controversial bill after it had been passed by Parliament. But he recently bowed down to public pressure, promising to sign the anti-gay bill into law. Michael Baleke, CCTV, Kampala, Uganda.
Is waiting to see if its president will sign the anti-homosexuality bill passed by Parliament in December. Offenders could be imprisoned for life, and the bill also includes jail time for just providing services to those who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender, known as LGBT. Ugandan activists say they will fight the law.
It's not going to change us from being LGBT, it's not going to change us from being gay, it's not going to stop us from speaking out, it's not going to stop us from showing our faces.
Harassment and attacks against gays in Africa have surged over the past decade. Same-sex acts are illegal in 31 sub-Saharan countries. Actual enforcement varies widely, and the punishment ranges from years in prison to the death penalty. In South Africa, however, gay marriage and same-sex adoption are legal, and countries such as Mozambique and Botswana have outlawed forms of discrimination based on sexual orientation. But gay men and women say discrimination and danger persist throughout Africa. Senegalese activist Seydou Jamil Ba.
Many hide their sexual orientation or try to go abroad. I don't push anyone to come out. It is a risk to live openly as gay men in Senegal, in Africa. Anytime your sexual orientation is known, your life is in danger.
Defenders of anti-gay legislation in Africa say homosexuality is a threat to society, and that the laws are about upholding religious and cultural values. But analysts say politics play a role as well, and the laws can reflect a scapegoating of the LGBT community. Ann Look, VOA News, Dakar.
Britain may consider cutting aid to Ghana if Ghana fails to legalize homosexuality.
Let me make one thing very clear. No one can deny Prime Minister Cameron his right to make policies, take initiatives, or make statements that reflect his societal norms and ideals. But he does not have the right to direct other sovereign nations as to what they should do, especially where their societal norms and ideals are different from those which exist in Prime Minister Karam's society. I, as president of this nation, will never initiate or support any attempts to legalize homosexuality in Ghana. as a government, we will abide by the principles enshrined in our Constitution, which Constitution is supreme. Let me also say that whilst we acknowledge all the financial assistance and all the aid which has been given to us by our development partners, we will not accept any aid with strings attached if that aid will not inure to our interest, or the implementation or the utilization of that aid with strings attached would rather worsen our plight as a nation or destroy the very society that we want to use the money to improve.
We are saying no to homosexuality. Why should you say we're going to be civilized if we only allow it? Are you saying we are very primitive now because we are frowning upon homosexuality? Even animals don't do it. Why should we be forced to do it because we want to be seen to be smart, to be seen to be civilized and advanced and so on?
The Zambian president said no amount of money could make him change his mind on homosexuality.
A retraction or apology would do, but I don't know, to be honest with you, how far this matter will go. Because already you're tying it to aid. If that is how you're going to bring your aid, then I'm afraid the Western can leave us alone in our poverty, and we will continue scrounging and struggling and see how we can get going.
The president already cancelled a meeting with the US ambassador, and it's hard to see how their relationship can be rebuilt with such diverse views on homosexuals.
They require help, obviously. For me, I think they're sick. That's how I see it, but they need help. The fact that they've gone to jail probably is one thing, but help should be rendered to them. A pardon could be considered, but not in the manner that the ambassador is coming out, like insulting the collective wisdom of the Zambian people and the sovereignty of this state. You don't do that.
But the jailing and the row is likely to cement Zambia's reputation of being one of the most dangerous places in Africa to be gay. Alex Crawford, Sky News, Lusaka.
And I say that recognizing that there may be people who have different religious or cultural beliefs. But the issue is, how does the state operate relative to people?
The fact of the matter is that Kenya and the United States, we share so many values. Our common love for democracy, entrepreneurship, value for families. These are things that we share. But there are some things that we must admit we don't share. Our culture, our societies don't accept. It's very difficult for us to be able to impose on people that which they themselves do not accept. This is why I repeatedly say that for Kenyans today, the issue of gay rights is really a non-issue. We want to focus on other areas that are day-to-day living for our people.
You know that the anti-gay law in your country drew a huge amount of condemnation by many of your friends outside and obviously many people inside Uganda. It has been defeated and reversed. Are you pleased that it's been defeated and reversed, or would you like to see it passed again?
We are discussing that issue among ourselves in our party, and when we decide how to move, we shall inform the public. We are discussing it internally within our party.
But you're the leader of your party. You don't want to see it passed again, do you?
No, I don't want to speak before we have reached a consensus. When it was initially passed, I did not sign the bill initially. Later on, I signed it because of some provocations from outside, because we didn't like lectures which were emanating from certain quarters. But later on, we have been having very intensive internal discussions, and when we conclude, we shall inform the public.
Shouldn't freedom and individuality and all those things also extend to people who just happen to be gay, who were born gay? They weren't made gay. Wouldn't it be great for the president of Iran to say, you know something, Everyone's entitled to be whatever sexuality they are born to be. That would be a great symbol of freedom.
Do you really believe that someone is born homosexual?
Yes, I absolutely believe that. Yes, I do.
I'm sorry, let me ask you this. Do you believe that anyone is given birth to through homosexuality? Homosexuality ceases procreation. Who has said that if you like or believe in doing something ugly and others do not accept your behavior, they're denying your freedom? Who says that? Who says that?
What sort of people are they? How can you go? I never knew what they were doing. That's how I've been told recently that what they do is terrible, disgusting. But I was ready to ignore that if there was proof that that's how he's born, abnormal. But now the proof is not there.
It's un-African, it's unethical, it's ungodly.
Because already you're tying it to aid. If that is how you're going to bring your aid, then I'm afraid the Western can leave us alone.
If we accept homosexuality as a right, as is being argued by the Association of Sodomists and sexual perverts, what moral fiber shall our society ever have to deny organized drug addicts, or even those given to bestiality, the rights they might claim and allege they possess under the rubrics of individual freedom and human rights?
We are saying no to homosexuality. Why should you say we're going to be civilized if we only allow it? Are you saying we are very primitive now because we are frowning upon homosexuality? Even animals don't do it. Why should we be forced to do it because we want to be seen to be smart, to be seen to be civilized and advanced and so on?
I don't care what they feel about me. I didn't introduce the death penalty here. I found it here. And the British brought the death penalty to the Gambia. Before colonialism, there was no death penalty in Africa. Don't you know that? Go to history.
But it's also said it is also said, Mr. President, that it was the colonials who brought in the laws against homosexuality into Africa, and Africans have maintained and kept those laws. So to be truly African would be to remove those laws forbidding homosexuality and to remove the death penalty.
Are you attributing that homosexuality is African?
There are some Africans who say so.
Yeah. Now, in the slave trade, doesn't Africans capture people in the bush? So those are the same type of Africans that we still have that they use against us. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, but homosexuality is un-African. And let me also make it very clear. Even if the whole world accepts it, Jammeh will not accept it in the Gambia. Let them go and tell me whatever they want to tell. Do I care? I don't.
I have to be honest with you. And that is the position that we have always maintained. Those are the laws that we have, and those are laws that are 100% supported by 99% of the Kenyan people, irregardless of where they come from.
So I
it's a very
you're going to get yourself into trouble.
They require help, obviously. For me, I think they're sick. That's how I see it. But they need help. The fact that they're going to jail probably is one thing, but help should be rendered to them. A pardon could be considered, but not in the manner that the ambassador is coming out, like insulting the collective wisdom of the Zambian people, the sovereignty of this state. You don't do that.
What is your message to Western human rights groups, to President Obama, to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people?
Respect African societies and their values. If you don't agree, you just keep quiet. Let's manage our society the way we see. If we are wrong, we shall find out by ourselves. Just the way we don't interfere with yours.
On Sunday, US President Barack Obama publicly warned President Museveni over the plan to enact a bill that would sentence gay people to life imprisonment, warning that such discrimination could harm its relationship with the United States. President Museveni has responded by saying he will not allow anyone to lecture Uganda on issues like homosexuality.